Hey guys, HDvee here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got some really exciting news to go over. We have some huge rumors that suggest we could be seeing some Generation 5 remakes happening this year. We also have some new mystery gifts and also some new announcements to take a look at as well. There's a lot of stuff to break down and get into today. So if you're excited for the video, as always, make sure to drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes. Leave a comment with your thoughts on anything we cover today. Subscribe if you're brand new and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, we have this post here by Goopy Snail. Now, this was posted on the family boards on the 1st of March, 2024. Now, they don't have a great track record in terms that they haven't gotten anything right in the past. They also haven't gotten anything wrong in the past. They are quite a new insider or leaker or whatever you want to call them. CentralLeaks also tweeted this out, but they did put it behind a paid subscription. You know, make of that what you will. But this person, what they're saying does line up very, very well with what a few other insiders and credible people have also said. So let's take a look at it, but of course take it with a grain of salt. But they do start off by saying, so after the Generation 5 remakes were absent from the Pokemon Presents, I did some digging and I've heard from my friends in the industry that Generation 5 remakes are due this year still and being handled by a separate studio, not ILCA. So this was actually posted before Pokemon Works was like announced or like trademarked or anything like that. So I believe that this separate studio is in fact Pokemon Works, which of course has just been revealed in that trademark. But again, this was posted before that was even announced. And then they go on to say, apparently, they want to show it closer to release to avoid the backlash they had with Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl looking unpolished. They are targeting a November 2024 release and should be shown this summer/autumn. We are expecting a Pokemon Presents in August. We do usually get one. Again, that could be a little bit different this year with the potential announcement of the Nintendo Switch 2. You know, if we do get Legend ZA for the next console, then maybe they put the Presents, you know, a little bit sooner, just simply because they would obviously show gameplay for that to coincide with the announcement of the Switch 2. But a November 2024 release for this game, or these games, the black and white remakes, would make sense because we usually get games in November. They then go on to say, obviously please take this with a grain of salt, but I trust my sources and hope this brings some positivity to those disappointed by the lack of Generation 5 remake news. I will try to get some more information about the remakes ASAP for everyone, as I'm not sure if they are faithful or more like auras, and whether Black and White 2 is also included. So obviously, you know, like I say, take it with a grain of salt, but this person hasn't been banned or anything like that off the family boards, and again, they are a little bit more of a credible kind of website than like your 4chan stuff and everything like that. So they've obviously got that going for them. They also, everything they say here lines up correctly with what other people have said, which we're also going to go over in today's video. But yeah, it does just kind of suggest that we are going to be getting new remakes this year, black and white, and they are going to be dropping in November. They're just not sure if it's going to be like Faithful or more like an Aura style remake, and whether Black and White 2 is also included as well. So they also posted a few other things, but like I say, it's been paid. It's like been locked behind a paid subscription by Central. I can't find this post anywhere else on the internet. I can't find it on the family boards or anything. Again, it was sent to me by Ruffled, so massive shout out to him. But yeah, like I say, I would like to cover everything, but I'm not paying Centro just to go over some leaks. I think it's absolutely scummy. But either way, that's what Goopy Snail is saying. We do also have other people kind of also saying that we are going to be seeing some sort of Generation 5 remake this year. This was posted by Kalos, who of course is one of the main insiders in the community. They've got things right in the past that they have been told, and they also suggest that we could be seeing some sort of Generation 5 remake this year. So this was quote retweeting Kalos, where they were talking about the Pokemon Works. You know, they said Pokemon Company has filed a new trademark in Japan, Pokemon Works. It should be noted that this is a new division which is located in the same building as ILCA in the district of Tokyo. And then we have Kalos here quote retweeting this, saying, by the way, I remain convinced that the Generation 5 remakes are in progress and they are working on it. And this does line up with what Goopy Snail is saying, you know, that they are saying that these games are being made by a different studio than ILCA, and this different studio very well could be Pokemon Works. And again, Kalos is an insider, and they are saying that they are convinced we are going to be seeing Generation 5 remakes this year. So that's Goopy Snail saying it, and that's also Kalos saying that that they're going to be happening this year. We do obviously also have Pyoro as well, saying earlier on in the year, before the presents dropped, that they had heard about an outsourced Unova related game. Pyoro is, of course, an incredibly credible leaker in the community. Everything they have said has been 100% right. We did have this post here by Wild Shock saying, "Hey Pyoro, do you have any information for the Pokemon Presents on February the 27th, specifically when it comes to the next Nintendo Switch game? I don't know anything about the Pokemon Presents. While heard of an outsourced Unova related game, the info was from last year, so it may turn out to be inaccurate." So they are also saying that they have heard about an outsourced Unova related game, which again could be the one that is being made by Pokemon Works. This would be an outsourced game to this other kind of division, or whatever you want to call it, in the Game Freak kind of like studios and stuff like that. So that's another person saying they have heard something about an outsourced game. And then also they are saying, this is not a leak and should be taken with a grain of salt. I'm just saying something I'm aware of. So they are aware of a Unova remake that they have heard about that was being worked on by a different company. Like, it's been outsourced last year. So that's Pyoro saying they've heard about it. That's Kalos saying that they are evidently like convinced that they are going to be released this year. And then that's also Goopy Snail. So that's 3 different people. We do also have Centro kind of talking about what Pyoro was saying as well, saying, Pyoro, the Nintendo Direct leaker, is now saying that they heard about an outsourced Unova-related game last year. He very clearly says to take it with a grain of salt, as the information may have changed or be inaccurate, but there you go. And we do have Pyoro also saying, "I don't think it's worth reporting. I'm willing to take the L if it ends up being wrong." Obviously, we didn't get any kind of announcement in February about Generation 5 remakes, but again, as Goopy Snail here says, they wanted to announce it later on because they wanted to be looking like a lot more polished and stuff, and they didn't get as much backlash as they did with BDSP. It also makes sense to announce it at a different time as well, because obviously they announced BDSP and Legends Arceus at the same time because they were both retellings of Generation 4, whereas Generation 5 isn't a retelling of Kalos, which is what obviously Legends ZA is. So it would make not as much sense to announce them both at the same time. And as well as that, we've only ever had one remake announced on Pokemon Day, which was BDSP. The rest have always been announced on different dates. So just because we haven't had something announced on Pokemon Day doesn't mean that it's definitely not going to happen. So we have that there from Pyoro, Kalos, and as well as Goopy Snail. Then we also have this as well, which I don't really know who this person is. They're called Lucky One Monster. They're not really followed by anyone like super credible inside the community. They're followed by Soul Silverheart, but again, they have a couple of sources themselves, but I don't know what this person is in terms of like leakers or insiders or anything like that. And they quote retweeted this here from the Central Release talking about Pokemon Works, and they say, "The way I know exactly what this is about, but I signed an NDA." So again, this hasn't really had like a crazy amount of traction. We did have Central Release kind of reply to it here with a kind of thinking emoji. But again, I don't know what to really make of this. I don't know if this person knows something. Like I say, they're not an insider or anything like that. It just says, I guess I'm just on fire these days. So yeah, make of that what you will, but that's just kind of adding a little bit more fuel to the fire. And this thing that they know exactly what it's about could be Generation 5 remakes. We do also have Soul Silverheart talking about this as well. So this also adds more ideas to the fact that we are going to be getting Generation 5 remakes this year. So we have Soul Silverheart here saying, "Part 1, I've seen so many people, big names and not big names, saying the Pokemon Company skipped the black and white remakes, or that there's no mainline game in 2024. Or that they are thankful this is a gap year and they're taking more time. Not exactly true. This year was always an outsourced remake year, as Game Freak is currently working on their other 2 projects, being Pokemon Legends ZA and Generation 10, both seemingly on their normal dev cycles. As I say, Game Freak are not working on any other game this year apart from Legends ZA and Gen 10. This is why, if we do get Generation 5 remakes this year, they have to be outsourced, because Game Freak are not working on them. And again, that could be what Pokemon Works are working on, and it just kind of all makes sense. We then have Legends ZA was announced for 2025 as the hype news for Pokemon Day in 2024. How would yesterday have gone if the only announcement was an outsourced Faithful Black and White remake instead? I think they pulled this off masterfully. We got this hype Pokemon Day news, and now people will only be more hyped a few months from now, April to July, when they announce a Black and White remake for this year too. Pokemon Legends Arceus and BDSP were both Sinnoh, so they were connected, but these 2 games aren't, so there was no need to reveal them at the same time. Also, games like Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee and Ultra Sun Ultra Moon were revealed as late as June of the same year that they came out, and those were Game Freak made games. I know I'm taking like this is confirmed, and that's because I heard this from 2 people I fully trust. So Soul Silver Art has heard from 2 people that they trust that we are going to be getting Generation 5 games this year, plus corroborating evidence that Pyoro had heard the same exact thing I heard, but from a different source. So that's multiple different sources saying, you know, Generation 5 remakes are happening this year. I may die on this hill, but I'm standing with that people I trust, and I'll take the L if it doesn't happen. Even then, I still fully believe it was planned. Whether the Pokemon Company decided to push it back or cut it for this year is unknown, but I can't jump to that conclusion after July. Pokemon Day is not the end of all to Pokemon news for each year. We usually get more news. So what does this mean for Black and White remake games though? Well, it means Legends ZA may have made them even more insignificant than BDSP were to Legends Arceus. So we've obviously already covered this post in the past, but as I say, it's just more like evidence to suggest, especially this paragraph here, that we are going to see Generation 5 games. So, you know, even though that Soul Silver Art isn't like a leak or anything, they have heard from their sources that, you know, these Generation 5 games are happening. Obviously, this person here is saying something about Pokemon Works. We have Pyoro obviously saying that they heard something about an outsourced game. We have Kalos saying that they are, you know, convinced we're going to see Generation 5 games. And then we also have this Goopy Snail person here as well, which hasn't been banned or anything like that. They are still alive and well on the family boards. And again, if it is just like a fake person, they usually just ban straight away. So the fact that they've not been banned yet does bode well for them. And obviously, as well as that, you know, Riddler Coup has been teasing Generation 5 games all year, like all last year, you know, with the whole being related to the like being a massive spoiler for the next game because of Drayton and stuff like that, that they were posting a lot of Generation 5 stuff. So, and again, you can agree or to disagree with, you know, Riddler Coup and his credibility. As of right now, it's not very good, but if we do get Generation 5 games this year, then his credibility goes all the way back up again because he's kind of already, I guess, hinted towards them. So we've got Riddler Coup talking about it, we've got Kalos talking about it, Goopy Snail talking about it, Pyoro talking about it, Soul Silver Art sources talking about it, and these are all different sources as well. These aren't like, this isn't one person feeding all of this information to multiple people. These are different sources. They all come from different places, and yeah, I'm just a little bit more convinced now that we are going to be seeing something to do with Generation 5 this year. As well as that, we have this to go over as well. Soul Silver out here saying a very curious coincidence, Black and White remakes in the Year of the Dragon. So it's the Year of the Dragon this year, obviously, which is why we're getting so much like kind of dragon events and stuff like that. But as well as that, Pokemon Legends ZA is in the Year of the Snake. So next year is Year of the Snake, which obviously Zygarde is, and then this year could be Year of the Dragon. So we get Generation 5 remakes this year for Generation for the Year of the Dragon, and then we get Pokemon Legends ZA next year for the Year of the Snake, because obviously Zygarde is a snake. So again, a little bit more fuel for thought. And then as well as that, we've already covered this as well, but I keep bringing this back up just to kind of like help with the evidence for Black and White remakes. This was something posted by Yorodon a while ago, but saying that I see a lot of people now saying that our leakers lied about Black and White remakes. It seems like everyone's forgetting that mid-generation games getting announced on Pokemon Day is an anomaly. The only time it's happened, it was tied to a Legends game. ZA isn't Unova, so give it a few months. So again, these are different remakes that got announced on different days that were not Pokemon Day. So obviously on May the 7th, we got Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. On June the 6th, we got Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. On May the 30th, we got Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. And then on February the 27th, we got Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl and Legends Arceus. But again, as I say, and again, we've covered this in the past, I completely understand that, but this just kind of adds like evidence to what I'm talking about here. So when Pokemon began, 1996, we got Pokemon Red and Green. Nothing in 1997. In 98, we got Yellow and Hey You Pikachu. In 99, we got Snap, Stadium, and Gold and Silver. In 2000, we got Stadium 2 and Crystal. In 2001, we got nothing. And then every year since 2001, we've had something. So we had Ruby and Sapphire in 22. We had 2003 bringing us Colosseum. And again, this is either spin-off or main series. But we've had something every single year. Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green and Emerald were in 2004. We got Gale as Darkness in 2005 and Mystery Dungeon. We got Ranger and Diamond and Pearl in 2006. We got Mystery Dungeon 2007. We got another Ranger and Platinum in 2008. We got Mystery Dungeon, Heart Gold Soul Silver in 2009. In 2010, we got Pokemon Ranger and Black and White. We got Pokepark 2 in 11. And then in 2012, we got Conquest, Black and White 2, Mystery Dungeon. In 2013, we got X and Y. 14, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. 15, Pokemon Tournament and another Mystery Dungeon. 16, we got Sun and Moon. 17, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. In 18, we got Detective Pikachu and Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. In 19, we got Sword and Shield DLC in 2020. 2021, we got New Snap and Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. 2022, we got Legends Arceus, Scarlet and Violet. And in 23, we got Scarlet and Violet DLC and Detective Pikachu Returns. So, from 1996 to 23, in 28 years, we've had literally a game every single year apart from 2. So I personally I think not that it's guaranteed, because obviously nothing's been announced yet, but you know, it's like Call of Duty or FIFA. Like, they bring out a game every year, and I understand that people are always like complaining that they bring games out too like often and they're unfinished and stuff like that, but you also have to realize that Game Freak are not going to be making the game that comes out this year if we do get one. You know, it is going to be outsourced to Ilka or Pokemon Works or whoever's working on it. It's not Game Freak working on it, so they are still taking a year off from like making a game. But we're still going to get a Pokemon game, you know, and I think people forget that. You know, people think that we get a Pokemon game every year, it means that it's going to be bad every single year, but you know, the outsourced company could have been working on Black and White remakes for the last 3 years. We just don't know. And like, I don't think it's an argument to say that, oh, it's going to be bad because they make one every year, because it's just not the case. Like, they're just not making one this year. It's going to be outsourced. So yeah, I am very, very convinced we are going to be seeing something this year. And I know that we've been speaking about this quite a lot recently, but there's just been more things that have popped up about Generation 5 games. You know, Kalos has said this. We obviously have the whole Pokemon Works situation. We have another person here who, again, isn't super credible. We don't know who this person is, but this could very well be another leaker in the community. You know, this could be the birth of a new leaker. And it's not like a random 4chan post or anything like that. Like, this person has not been banned yet, and family boards are a lot more like realistic and kind of credible than 4chan. So I'm hoping we get something. We'll have to wait and see. But has this kind of like made you a little bit more excited though? All these credible people saying that we are going to get them this year, or are you still a little bit on the fence? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I think we're going to be seeing Generation 5 games this year. I'm very convinced now. As well as that, though, we have a few other bits and bobs to go over today as well. We have a new mystery gift that's been announced for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. We literally just got one yesterday. We now got another one. So, Cerebi update here. A new Pokemon Scarlet and Violet distribution has begun for Lyco's Sprigatito with the partner ribbon. The code is Lyco with 906. So, L1K0 W1TH 906, and this runs until the 30th of September 2024. And again, I always post these mystery gifts straight away on my Pokemon Guides channel. It's in the description down below if you want to hear about these mystery gifts as soon as possible. So make sure to go check that channel out if you haven't already. And then also finishing things off, we have this new poster announced for the next kind of segment to the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet anime, Pokemon Horizons. So Cerebi update. The next saga of the Pokemon anime in Japan has been announced. Pokemon Terrestrial debut. And in this poster, they just straight up just leak or just reveal or spoil or whatever you want to call it, Sprigatito evolving into Florigato. So it very much looks like the case that yes, we are going to be seeing an evolution very, very soon. Royce Fuecoco not evolving yet. But yeah, we will be seeing a Sprigatito evolution very, very soon. But that is going to be everything for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please do consider hitting the like button down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes. It does really, really help out. Leave a comment with your thoughts on anything we covered in today's video. Like I said, there was a lot to talk about today. But it's getting me more excited. Like, obviously, a lot of people are kind of a little bit bored with Pokemon this year because apparently we're getting nothing. But this is evidence to suggest that we are actually going to be getting something, and there's just more and more people coming out saying that they've heard something from a different source. So yeah, it's getting me more and more excited about Generation 5 remakes potentially happening this year. And even if they are made by Ilka or Pokemon Works or whatever, I still think they'll be great. We'll have to wait and see though. But yeah, let me know your thoughts and all that. Subscribe if you're brand new though, ring the notification bell for daily Pokemon content. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and until next time, peace.